Like to say, a little controversial, but I couldn't care less. We have a lot of bad criminals that came into the this country, and they came in stupidly. It was an unforced error. It was an incompetent president that allowed it to happen. It was an auto pen maybe that allowed it to happen, and it did happen. But we also have a lot of bad people that have been here for a long time. People that whack people over the head with a baseball bat from behind when they're not looking and kill them. People that knife you when you're walking down the street. They're not new to our country. They're old to our country. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here too. You want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together. But I think getting them out, we forget about them. We had some bad accidents in New York. They're not accidents. I like to say, a little controversial, but I couldn't care less. We have a lot of bad.
All right, Shalom. Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And also peace and safety to the Akim that's spread across the four corners of the world, that's pushing out this truth with all diligence and putting their lives on the line to do so. Your brother Karatazar of Great Millstone, Atlanta, back at you again with another brief lesson. I'm not sure what the title is going to be, but as you've seen, in the clip from the president, Donald Trump, Esau is about to bring that pressure down, on these tribes, man. Especially, the 2/3. The Lord is putting it in their spirit, to not care, to continue to put the pressure on you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. And really, even though we say that, the president is a puppet, they really coming in the spirit that, the elites are in, So these are examples of the forthcoming of, America, man. A lot of you people are gonna get exiled to countries that you've never even been to before, man. Places that you never even heard of. You was born in America. All right. So I got the scripture pulled up here in Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns and spake like a lamb. Those two horns represents the two government parties, the Democrat and Republicans. And it says, and he spake as a dragon. All right, when you go, let's see. When you go into that word dragon, it's Dracon, or going back to Draconian. It says a dragon, a great serpent, a name for Satan. You see? So let's look up Draconian in the etymology online. Salaki. It says, of or pertaining to Draco. It says the ancient Greek statements. It says rigorous, extremely severe or harsh. You see? So that's, the spirit that, the government is about to come down with, man. When we read Revelation 12 and 12, how it speaks on, Esau, basically coming down because he got a short time. It's going to be extremely severe and harsh, man. Especially for you women. You so-called independent women who don't need a man, who got it by themselves, All laws are about to be done away with, henceforth where you get, the Jacob's trouble. Esau is not going to abide by his own laws in order to put extreme and harsh measurement and punishment onto you people, man. All right. See, it says Draconic. It says name of the Archon of Athens who laid down a code of laws for Athens. You see, so this is nothing new. All right. This has always been, pressured on our people. When you read First Maccabees, the first chapter, it goes into that, man. How they made all Israel basically abide by their, laws and do away with the Most High. So this is the spirit that these devils are coming in, man. Going back to verse 12. It's like it says, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him. You see, nothing new under the sun. It says, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And how was this, speaking of Rome, how was Rome's deadly wound being healed? Through America coming back, the revival, of the Roman Empire. That's how the deadly wound was healed, man. All right. So just like during 70 AD, the Jerusalem persecution, the same thing is going to try to happen now, but the Lord is going to intervene. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to step in this time, man, for the elect. But all you other people, hey, you going to receive the harsh punishment that's coming from Esau, man, the so-called white man. Okay? So that's a brief example of what's, coming for, you people out here in America, man. Trump is not playing games. So if you think he is, hey, you gonna get blinded, and then you can find yourself in another fucking country, man. So I just wanted to touch on that. Lord willing, it was edifying. Close up by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakak Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Until the next time.